What's up, everybody? It's your oh shit, that's my intro. Hold on, start over. Start over.
I like it. Leave it
Dude,
in.
what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Beyond Mobile Gaming Podcast. I am joined today by Jaboosle, the most amazing guy on YouTube, and also with one of our great homies, the big buff guy, Pickled Gamer. Welcome.
Go. Let's go.
Shout out to PickledGamer. He is like officially, I guess, like our first guest. So welcome in, PG and Jab. How are you today, guys? Welcome in.
I'm doing good. Yeah, PG's technically our first official guest. I say technically because I think Miz like crashed in a couple of the podcasts, so she kind of was like the first. I think your mom might have said some stuff on the podcast as well one time, maybe. I don't remember, but yeah, PG, first official guest of the Beyond Mobile podcast. You want to just go ahead and quickly tell people what you do and here on YouTube and stuff?
Yeah. So, first of all, thank you for having me on here. It really is an honor to be on here with you guys. Yeah. So I am a streamer / content creator. My name is PickledGamer, and I've been doing this since December of 2020. And I started out doing stuff differently, where I was making videos. Reviewing craft beers and old video games, kind of pairing them up and playing the game, tasting the beer, doing that. And after a short time, I kind of got burnt out on that. It was a great idea at first, but I didn't see any traction in it. So I decided just to start streaming games more. So I started doing a lot of DMZ within Call of Duty and saw a little success with that. And then I got kind of tired of DMZ and Call of Duty as a whole, just some certain things that were kind of turning me off with the game. So I was looking for something else, and I found Combat Master, and that's where I met AB.
Yeah.
And he was the first content creator for Combat Master that I had seen on YouTube, first video that I found. And so I started watching AB and going to his live streams and chatting with him. And then obviously I met Jaboosle through AB, going to his channel and stuff. And so, so I started doing Common Master, and Common Master really helped my channel take off, and became one of the partner content creators for Common Master, and kind of been doing that and playing some other games as well. But my channel is based mostly on first-person shooters, and that's what I kind of stick to. Throw some other games in there to mix it up sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, dude. We so the way that I found out about PG was also through AB. AB's very much like a unifier of people. He's just very naturally charismatic and becomes friends with everyone. And so yeah, that's how I found out about you too. It was through AB, and then I checked out your channel and I saw that you were doing like Combat Master stuff, and that was what I was doing at the time too. And so that's how we came to know each other. It's interesting that you said you started in December 2020. So you started like after the pandemic, then like you just started to make videos and stuff.
Yeah, I started during that time. I was just trying to figure out something else to do. I mean, I had a full-time job at the time, but I was working from home, obviously, and so we would hang out, and me and Mrs. Pickle Gamer would go out on the weekends, and we'd hang out and have some drinks, and I had an idea in my head one day, and I told her about it, and she's like, "Yeah, that's a good idea." So I came home like that day and designed the logo and started making content like right away. But yeah, that was during the shutdown. To answer your question,
Yeah, that's when I started to upload a lot too, and that's when me and AB sort of came together and found out about each other. Was during like those early months of the pandemic. We were both making videos on a game called Area F2. I don't know if you ever played it, but yeah, it was super interesting because like I didn't know anyone on YouTube. AB was kind of like the first friend that I made on YouTube. Like he just left a lot of comments on my videos, and then I was like, let me check out his channel, and then I saw that he made videos too, and so I would leave stuff on his, and then it just sort of That's how our friendship here on YouTube sort of began. But yeah, it's super interesting that you began around the same time that I did. AB,
Yeah.
I don't think I ever actually asked you. Were you uploading before the pandemic too? Because I know you were doing it as like a group thing with Miz and your brother and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I actually started before that. I think my first video on YouTube went up in like 2017, I think. I was
Oh,
actually going in between jobs. I was with one company for a long time, I think like 10 years or so. And then an opportunity came up at another job at another company. So I was kind of like in between. I was waiting for that other job to call me back. And I was like, you know what? I kind of got like this spare time. And I've always thought about like doing YouTube or doing something on the side, something like not work related. Because I really felt like all I did was just work, go home, sleep, repeat, and
yeah.
it just
Mm.
started to feel like a drone. I didn't feel like myself anymore, and I was like, you know what? Now that I got like this little window of opportunity and kind of like a little bit of mental clarity, I was like, you know what? Let me try something different. So then I just started, uploading videos because I was always playing video games. Always played, everything, a bunch of single player games, multiplayer, online stuff. I was playing a bunch of games, but never recorded anything. And then I was like, you know what? Since I got some time, let me start recording something. Let me put something up. And I think the first video I ever put up was a Fortnite video because that was like when Fortnite like season 1 was like popping off. Everything on YouTube was like Fortnite. And so I
Yeah.
was thinking, damn, if I'm gonna jump in, let me hop on this bandwagon. It's kind of popular right now. It might be easy to like jump into, but I hated Fortnite. I didn't like the building. I I absolutely did not like the building stuff. It was like the one thing that like threw me off because every other first person shooter was just point and shoot and
Right.
repeat. And with Fortnite, it was like you got to build these walls. People are building towers. You think someone's gonna die, and then all of a sudden they. It was just like, it was like I don't fantasy. It was like magic, and my brain didn't like it. I was like, dude, I don't think I'm doing this for Fortnite. But someone told me about like mobile games. They were like, hey, since you don't have a lot of if you don't have you don't have very good internet, why don't you try some mobile gaming? And then someone put me onto PUBG Mobile, and then I was like, oh, dope! Like this is a lot of fun. You get to play with friends and everybody, and everything. So we started with that PUBG, and then yeah, everything just kind of kept progressing from there. Whatever the next big mobile game was, COD Mobile, and then just keep playing whatever else came after that. Never touch Free Fire though because that game is ass.
No, dude, you gotta. We can't say that stuff. What if they want to sponsor us one day?
Oh shoot! No, this this podcast is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh man, yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that you had begun all the way back in 2017. I don't know why. I just feel like all the YouTubers that I interact with now, like I just automatically think they started around the same time that I did. I don't know why, but yeah, that's
Well,
crazy that you
it's kind of cool because like when I first met you, we were making around like the same kind of content. That's how we found each other. But then like you're like first run of videos, they were all like Call of Duty and like news. So you were
yeah.
kind of doing your thing. Whereas like I was still trying to figure out my thing. And then I was like, you know what, this Area of Two stuff, the news is kind of like working out. And then when I met Pickled Gamer, like, oh, we're doing like, you know, similar content. Here's another content creator that I'm doing similar content with. We're doing Combat Master. And then I go back and like watch some of his older videos and I'm like, hey yo, like bro's wearing like what did Luton hose,
Yeah,
whatever those like
Lederhosen.
Lederhosen, and he's playing like retro games. I'm like, hey yo, like he started out doing completely different stuff.
Oh
And
man,
it's not a bad idea. Like I actually look at it like his older videos and I'm like, dude, like it's not a bad it wasn't a bad idea, PG. It really wasn't.
that sounded
It
cool
just
when you started saying the whole like craft beers and gaming thing. That sounds sick. I would watch stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought it was a great idea too. It didn't get a lot of views, not a lot of traction. It was just like a lot of work
Yeah.
for, and I understand like that's the thing is like you got to put in time. You can't expect like something just to take off right away unless you're like, unless you're super lucky, but it was just the work, like putting the amount of work and like it was all edited videos and planning every single one of them and then like theming those two, like AB was saying, I was wearing lederhosen in one of them. It's like I'm doing costumes and doing different things, and it's just like, oh man, I'm not enjoying this anymore. So I was like, I
Yeah.
love playing Call of Duty, so I'm just gonna stream Call of Duty now.
Yeah.
So
And what do you think made you make the transition to like mobile gaming though? Because it sounds like you weren't really doing much mobile stuff. Was it Combat Master that kind of like bridged that for you, and like you just decided to check out other mobile games too, or what was it?
no, so I think like, I mean, obviously, like, I knew that the Comet Master was mobile before it went to PC, but I started playing Comet Master on PC. But
Oh,
when I got into the mobile stuff, I think it was more from watching AB stream and him playing COD M, and I think COD M was the first like mobile game I started playing like actual on a mobile device. But I wouldn't play, and I still won't play a mobile game unless it has controller support.
yeah.
So that's the only thing. Like, I am not a touchscreen guy. I never have been. I've never really tried it. It seems crazy to me that people can do that. But yeah, so I now I find a lot of interest in mobile games as long as they have controller support, and they're a lot of fun. It's a I think it's a really good alternative and a good weapon to have in your
Mhm.
in your you know in your uh in your stash, you know what I mean, to like
Yeah.
do different things and not get like bored just playing like Call of Duty on console. You can go over to COD Mobile, or you can go over to Warzone Mobile if it works for you, or whatever it is, and kind of change it up. So
Yeah, that's something that I think a lot of people are starting to come around to, is the whole controller support in mobile games, because like I've been playing mobile games since like 2010 or something like that. And the controller support back then was like there was a few games that would have it, but most games were just purely like, touch only, and that's it. But nowadays, like a lot more games are starting to adopt controller support. A lot of mobile games are starting to like also have PC releases with like mouse and keyboard support and stuff. And
right.
yeah, it seems like the community at first really hated. I know my community, dude. Like anytime I would mention like this game is getting controller support or whatever it was, like they would hate it, because I guess they thought that controllers were like an advantage against touch players, and so they were usually opposed to it. But I've started to see with like some of the newer games that are implementing it, like people are starting to come around to it, and me personally, I still think that touch has like a higher like potential, I guess, like a skill ceiling,
Yeah.
just because you can have like crazy like 4 5 6 finger setups, like plus gyroscope and stuff like that, whereas
Mhm.
a controller you can be really really good, but at the end of the day you're limited to a thumbstick, like it's it's a really interesting situation. But yeah, that's really interesting that AB was like such a big influence on you, that you started to check out more mobile games and stuff. um
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
yeah, he has that effect, man. He downplays himself a lot, but he has that effect on people.
Yeah, he was awesome.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I remember when Jab said he would never play Modern Warfare 3.
Oh,
He said
dude.
Modern Warfare 3 was a cash grab. He said Modern Warfare 3 was not worth it. He said anybody that buys it is a sucker. He
Hmm.
said that. He told me.
Hmm. Dude, he got me. He was like, I was firmly on the like MW3. It's a DLC and it's not worth the $70, and I'm not gonna support act. And then AB's over here streaming it, like having the time of his life, and I'm watching, and I'm just like, do I need to get MW3? And then like it goes on sale, and I
Mhm.
just totally just flip flopped. Like I stopped being so against it, and I bought it. So yeah, he has that effect on people, dude. Like he's I always say it, dude. Like you're one of like the best streamers in mobile right now, just because like your stuff comes off very genuine, and like you're actually having fun, and you're very charismatic and stuff.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah, I like it too. Man.
I can't watch like and it's not meant to be like a jab at anyone or anything like that, but like I don't really watch mobile gaming content anymore, like especially like streams and stuff, just because like I'll watch it and it just feels like I'm watching mobile streamer number 7 or whatever. Like it's very similar, very same thing. So and then I'll watch AB, and like he'll be playing COD Mobile for the first 30 minutes, and then he's playing like Helldivers, and like he's like making like these little kids are joining in on his voice chat, and they're like funny as hell, and like he's like setting
Mhm.
them up for jokes and stuff, and it's just it's really funny. It's like very charismatic and stuff. And Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you know what? It's true. Like when I watch AB, it's almost like he's playing the game with excitement, like for the first time. Like every
Yeah.
time he plays the game, and it's like that is so hard. Like for me personally, to be able to do that and to have like to feel that excitement like every time I play something, like you can see it in my face, and it's something that that sometimes it's like I need to work on myself, but AB just you can tell he like genuinely enjoys like what he's doing and the game that he's playing.
Yeah, dude, I'm right there with you. I'm the exact same way when I stream once every 6 months, and I'm the exact same way. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I always say like AB is definitely one of the most like underrated. Not even just like to put them in a box of like only mobile, but like just in general, just like content creators. Like
Yeah.
there's very few content creators I watch nowadays that seem very genuine and stuff, and it's one of the reasons why I don't watch much mobile gaming content anymore. That, and also because I don't know if I'm alone on this, but I feel like mobile's kind of been dry for like the last like year or two or so.
Yeah,
I feel
for
like
sure.
every game is either just like infinitely in beta or soft launch or whatever, or it's been delayed until who knows when, or you get a Warzone Mobile situation where like only like 10% of the player base can comfortably play it, and it just
Yeah.
feels like such a weird thing with mobile. Like it's like I feel like I'm just like perpetually waiting for like the game to drop, and nothing really like grabs my attention.
Yeah, I was telling PG right before you hopped on, right before you hopped on the call, and I was telling them that like you would think that with mobile and the app stores and how many like titles there are in there to download, you're looking at maybe what tens of thousands of games that are in, you know, on mobile that are available to download and play, but like people really only gravitate to like the top 10. It's either COD Mobile or what was it, Apex Mobile. Everyone's looking for like those AAA titles. And when those titles don't deliver, then you keep going down the list and you're looking for like what else to play, and you're like, damn, like there really isn't much in the end, even on a
Mm.
platform like potentially tens of thousands, like an infinite library of like free games to play, and none of them are like hitting that spot. It's really weird.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's one of the reasons why I used to be like super consistent on YouTube. I used to be I look at your channel, PG, and I see like you have like stream schedules, and like you're streaming every day or like every other day, or like you're uploading every day and stuff like that. And I used to be like that, like in my first like year and a half to 2 years on YouTube. I would
Mhm.
have like at least an upload a day. Some days I'd throw in live streams there, or I'd do a double upload or things like that. But that was when I was like kind of first like kind of dipping my feet into like a lot of mobile games more than just the 5 to 10 minute like casual game every now and then. But obviously that was years ago, and now yeah, I feel a lot like what you're saying, AB, is like you kind of get bored of the the thing, and then you kind of start going down the list and trying to find that next thing and stuff, and it just you don't really find anything. And then it's definitely affected my channel, because like I've uploaded like less and less and less. Like now I'll usually upload like 5 to 10 videos a month. And in terms of live streams too, like I just made the joke like once every 6 months, like that's not even a joke. Like I think the last time I, I live streamed before like a week ago, it was like 4 months from back then. And so
Jesus.
yeah, it's like but it's not even like I don't play games, because like I play games every single day. Like I'm playing games on like my Steam Deck, like on PC. I'm playing games on my Switch. Like I'm enjoying the hell out of these games, but I also feel like I can't make content or stream those on my main channel, because it's known for just pure like mobile gaming stuff. So it feels like it doesn't really belong there. But then at the same time, like if I make a new channel dedicated to my Switch games, or dedicated to PC games, or whatever it is, I feel like I'm just neglecting the main channel that I've took 3.5 to 4 years to build and stuff. And so it's this like really weird thing where I'm just like desperately waiting for a mobile game to come out that like everyone can enjoy and that I enjoy too. But I feel like nothing's really come out to fit that.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. That's kind of how I was with like when Combat Master first released. Or My channel really started to get like some traction when Combat Master dropped the PC version.
Yeah.
Just because it started to get more attention, especially with like all the big channels like the Phase Jevs and the Tim the Tapmans. They were playing Combat Master, and there was a lot more attention. Combat Master brought a lot more attention to my channel. But like even like in the last couple months since the release of Combat Zone, which was like the big battle royale update, like I probably played Combat Master consistently maybe like a month since the release of Combat Zone. But ever since then, like even I just started like falling off just because I'm like, man, like nobody can play this game. Nobody can
Hmm.
play it. A lot of issues
Yeah.
that people are like, experiencing, and it's just like not fun. And I almost feel guilty for having fun with it. I know that's not my fault. I enjoy it and that I can play it, but knowing that like 90% of your audience can't play the game or they're not having a good time with it, it's like, man, you know what? I'm probably just gonna keep looking for something else. I'll wait for something else, and it's kind of been nice in a way that I've been not uploading so much Combat Master because then I can play other things. I can check out Bloodstrike. I can play Warzone Mobile. I can go back to COD Mobile. I can do Helldivers on the side, Modern Warfare 3. I can do all that without the pressure of like, you know what? I have to keep putting out Combat Master content consistently. But
Yeah.
then on the flip side, I do get that question a lot, like, "Hey, dude, like, do you not play Combat Master anymore?" And it's like, I'm just waiting for like some kind of like big update or announcement from the developers so that I can like, I don't know, get that momentum again. But it's just it's weird. It's just kind of a weird spot to be in. And then like how you mentioned wanting to start a second channel and stuff. It's just so you can upload your other interests. I mean, I've thought about that too, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna kind of stay in like my FPS lane and see what comes. But
Yeah.
it's just kind of in a weird spot to be in. It's like you have motivation, like you're self motivated, but then you're like looking for that content that can keep you uploading, so you
Yeah.
can keep on stuff. And it's like, dude, I just need the right game, and I'll pump out those videos. I'll make the content. I'll be reinvigorated and everything, and bring life back. But you know, I'm still waiting for those games to come around. Still waiting for that stuff. I know PG started a second channel. You started a reaction channel, right, PG?
Yeah, I started messing with like reaction videos. I haven't really done much with it, which I need to like get on top of, but it's kind of like what Jab was saying. It's like you can start a second channel, but then it's like then you're taking time away from your other channel to do that channel. So then you feel like your original channel is going to suffer. So it's just finding the time to do it, which I have the time right now. It's unfortunate and it's fortunate at the same time that I have the time to do it, but like I can't even like I can't imagine being able to keep one channel going if I didn't have the time that I have right now. So it's kind of tough. And also what you guys are talking about, like it's like just I mean it might be a good time right now just because there's not a lot going on in with gaming. Even I mean not just mobile but like console and PC as well. Like if you're talking about first person shooters, like
Yeah.
it's so tough right now. It's so tough right now. There's nothing that compares to COD. Like there hasn't been anything that compares to COD. I'm still waiting for that game, especially like on console, to come out that I can play and be like, okay, this feels great. Like this game is awesome. I can definitely do a lot, a lot of streaming and content on this game, and I think people will enjoy it. We need that like that hot game that can compete with COD because there is none. When you're
Yeah.
talking about console, there is none. Like it's if you're talking about that genre of FPS shooters. So and the same thing right now, yeah, with mobile. It's like Warzone Mobile doesn't work for everybody, hardly anybody, unless you have like, you know, like an iPad Pro, and you can run the game without it like, catching on fire.
Yeah.
Um, but like, there's just not like a lot going on either side, like PC, console, or mobile, and you're very limited. And like AB was saying with Combat Master, it's kind of a mess right now, ever since Combat Zone came out because now people can't play the game and it's like, you know, also what AB was saying. Like, you feel bad because you don't want to stream it because not everybody can play, and then if you try to stream it, you can't even fill the lobbies because nobody can play the game, and you definitely can't play Combat Zone. But even Combat Master, the regular Combat Master, like the multiplayer modes, they're people will come in and they'll be like, excited for like 2 seconds, and then they're like, no, nobody wants to play anymore because they're like bored of that, right? Because there hasn't been anything new within that like in forever. So it's just like I think it's just like a really like crazy like bad time right now, and I'm definitely like feeling it with my channel as well.
I saw your
Yeah.
videos where you were kind of teasing like a season 2 release sometime this month. Is that do you have any like follow up to that, or is that still, you know,
No.
projected for April, or is that kind of
Well,
up in the air?
the last time I asked Alpha like a few days ago, and he said that they're still pushing for April, because I was asking him again because I know they're having all those issues with like people's accounts being stolen and all kinds of crazy stuff going on within that. So I know that I think he probably wants to fix that stuff first, like get a hold of that before he puts out season 2, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I just put it out anyways, which might be the case, but he said he's still pushing for April. So and we're what, like in the middle, past the middle of April now.
Yeah.
So
That
but yeah,
reminds
he's
me,
still
I haven't been on Combat Master. I probably lost my account. Somebody probably hacked my account. It's probably gone.
I haven't turned it on since all that stuff was going down, so it could be
They're
gone.
gone. There's probably like 14 ABXYs out there now.
Yeah, whatever.
Damn, I didn't even know about that. I didn't know. Well, until I saw PG's video about the whole like account hacking and stealing and all this stuff. But I also did not like, since Combat Zone, I basically had not touched the game, just because it was like a complete, like, it was crazy because I remember the day that Combat Zone came out, like PG, I think you had hit like, it was a crazy number. I don't even remember, 1,000 live viewers or like 2,000 or anything, something like that. I had hit, in just in anticipation for it coming out, I had hit like 500 live viewers, which was like one of the most like I've ever had at any given time.
Right.
But then it came out, and then it was like, oh, like I have a pretty decent phone and it's struggling to run right now. And and every single comment was just like, this is what we waited for, or like I can't even play the game, and like, things like that. And it was just another one of those situations where it was like you're just waiting for something and then you get it, and then it's just a big disappointment and stuff. And it's one of the reasons why I have not made any type of like Combat Master content since, because Combat Master has been like really good for my channel in terms of like growth and stuff, but at the same time it's so inconsistent, and it's hard to like keep it as like regular content and stuff, because they update the game like once every 6 months or whatever, and then even then, like if there's like major problems, like it can go weeks if not months without any fixes and stuff, and that's not even to mention anything like the lack of content or anything like that. And so it's just one of those things where I was like, man, like I want to make a Combat Master video because I know it'll get like 5K views, or I know it'll get me like 100 plus subscribers or whatever, but at the same time it's like, how do I keep this going? And then how do I keep it going? And also like, how do I, kind of transition those Combat Master viewers into other things, which was something that I also struggled with. Like I had a 3-month period during Combat Master's initial release, where in that 3-month period, I literally gained like 10,000 subs. And it was because of Combat Master. It was because I was making a Combat Master video like every single day, but it was really popular and stuff. But then after that 3-month period, when they realized like, oh, Combat Master doesn't really update their game that often, that was when I saw a huge drop in like subscribers. I think I lost like 1,000 in like a week or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. And then on top of that, anytime I tried to do any other type of content, it was just nothing but like, where's the Combat Master update, or when is Combat Master getting this, or are they gonna get taken down again, and like things like that. And it just kind of got a little frustrating, because it was like, damn, like this it was really helpful and really cool for my channel to just grow like that, but then at the same time it was like I can't do anything else now. So I just ended up taking the hit, and I would just sprinkle a little bit of Combat Master, you know, every now and then, but I just kind of moved on from it. And yeah, it was crazy. I wish they updated the game consistently, and I wish that everyone could play the game, because that's literally one of the things that made it popular in the first place, you know, was the optimization and stuff. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't want to just wait around and hold my breath for it, because these last 2 years, you know, it hasn't really changed. It hasn't really gotten any better despite all the feedback that we've given them and stuff. But
Right.
yeah,
I got a question.
yeah.
I got a question for you guys, because I kind of want to leading into the release of Warzone Mobile, and I kind of want to start with this idea about Combat Master, because I see a lot of similarities. So when Combat Master announced the battle royale, the combat zone, and everybody was just made to wait. Everybody just had to wait. We waited like a year plus. No one ever got any kind of like early access. There was never any kind of like beta testing phase. So there was never a point where the community could give feedback about the battle royale before it like just officially released. Because so basically there was no hands-on, there was no testing phase of battle royale before it released. So do you think they should have allowed people to at least test it, give feedback? Maybe they would have made those changes, or did the game just like need more time period? Like, do you think the devs would have got it right eventually without any feedback? Because I'm assuming they do their own internal testing. I don't know how many people tested. I imagine maybe like only 4 or 5 people got to actually test that build before it launched globally. Because
Yeah.
I feel like if there would have been more devices, more people that actually tested it, they would have given the appropriate feedback, and then they would have fixed all that, hopefully, presumably, before it launched globally and everybody had this like, you know, terrible, disastrous release. Because I kind of see the same thing happen with Warzone Mobile, where they kept Warzone Mobile to like limited regions where it was only available in like Australia for like a year, and then they released it in like in Germany for like a couple months or whatever. Then they added like a couple more territories. But by the end, you know, I didn't, for the entire time that that Warzone Mobile wasn't testing, someone like me, I never played the game. I only got to experience Warzone Mobile once it officially released. And I imagine that like the millions of people that pre-registered had a similar experience. And those are all like potential people that could give like feedback. So I wonder if they kind of shoot themselves in the foot. And what do you guys think? Do you guys kind of think these devs should have given more people more chances to like test things before they released it, or or were they just going to release a broken product regardless?
I think it's gotten more and more common for devs to release like broken games and then fix them later on. And I see, like, at first, I think when this started to happen, I think we saw a lot of backlash from like various gaming communities when you know, they would see the end product and they'd be like, what is this? Like, why is this game broken at launch? But over time I've started to see that attitude kind of shift, and it seems like it's more like defending you know, releasing games that are just broken for whatever reason and stuff, which is really surprising to me, because I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, but like I play a lot of, you know, like Nintendo Switch, for example, and like Nintendo isn't really known for doing that. They have a couple of instances where they'll release a game that is very obviously not finished, or, you know, rushed, or whatever it is. You know, Pokemon comes to mind. But in regards to like their other franchises, they usually just release the game when it's ready, and then it just works, and it's a finished product, and you know, it's worth the money and stuff. Whereas it seems like, and so that's kind of what I'm used to. But when it seems like mobile games nowadays, it seems like it's less of that type of stuff, and now it's more of just like, let's just release the game, let's just hit this deadline. You know, we've already delayed 2 times or 3 times or whatever it is, and then we'll just fix it in the months to come. And yeah, I don't know. It's really weird for me that the community has kind of shifted the idea of that, like, oh no, like you should have a finished product at launch, and instead now kind of defend these games and stuff like that. Warzone Mobile comes to mind with that. I've seen so many like content creators and like community members being, you know, like, give the game a few months, it'll be fixed, or like things like that. And it's not that these things aren't necessarily true. It's just like, what happened to releasing a game in a ready state? Like, why release it when it's broken and turn off, so much of the community and stuff and have such a negative perception of the game at launch and all this? Like, why not just release it when it was ready? And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if more time would have solved anything. And I don't know if more feedback would have solved it too, because I know Warzone Mobile was in testing for like a year plus. I think it was like a year and a half, and they must have gotten so much feedback during that time that like, hey, the system requirements are way too high, it's not running well on high-end devices and things like that. And it's still released in the state that it did. So I don't know. It's very interesting that that this is kind of like what gaming is now, where it's like released unfinished games, unoptimized games, and then we'll fix it later on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's crazy. Like, I know Combat Master, I know that they even admitted that they released it too early. I mean, what else could they say? Like, after that, the mess that they released. But I think that the community would probably like appreciate it more if they would have just held on to it even longer and try to dial it in even more. And also, like you were saying, like testing, like definitely should have tested that game out. They should have, like, 100%, because they've never made a game like that. You know what I mean? They've never had a battle royal.
Yeah.
So the chances of them getting that right out the gate, no, that would be crazy. I mean, I could see for like a company that's made these games, right? Has made a game that big, made battle royals, giant maps, done all that stuff. Like, yeah, I could see them like just putting out a game and not doing, a ton of testing with the community and stuff like that. But as a smaller developer, like, there should have been like some tests, or at least like limited tests, out to a good sized group of people for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I just want to be clear. I do think like more testing and stuff like that obviously would have been beneficial. I don't, in terms of like Combat Master, for example, like that game though, it was definitely a really long wait to get Combat Zone. I think it was like a year and a half, and then on top of that, they were just known for delaying it and stuff. They definitely should have done some like creator feedback. I think I could be misremembering, but I think that was on the table at some point. Like, I think there was some talk of like, can the content creators that are partnered with the game get access to it first to give feedback and stuff? I don't know if I'm misremembering, but that's definitely something that they should have done, like to reach out to people like, UPG or like UAB, and just be like, this is like the current build that we have or whatever. Can you guys give us feedback? What device do you have? How well was it running? Things like that. I like
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
just to end it real quick. Like AB said, I don't know if they did do that internally and how many people tested it beforehand, but whatever the number was, I don't think it was enough people, and I think they should have gone for people who maybe were already making content on their game and could have given them honest, like kind of blunt feedback. That way they could have had a much much more successful launch, because obviously it was kind of a mess.
Yeah, so I think Alpha they did plan on having early access to the content creators at least, but I think like as it got closer to where they wanted to release, he decided not to, because he said he felt bad for the community, because the community had been waiting so long. So he didn't feel like it was fair to have others play the game before the community played the game. I thought it was kind of a weird decision.
Yeah,
But it's Alpha. What are you gonna do?
yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was kind of
it's-
weird too, because I was like, well, Call of Duty like they fly people out to come play their games, and us being partnered content creators, you would think, with that with that role, there would be some perks to it. And even if we just got to play test it a week in advance, or a week to ourselves, and give some feedback after putting the game through some testing, like, they could have probably resolved. I remember when the game launched, when Combat Zone launched, when you would drop a weapon, that weapon would disappear, and that would be something that we could have easily pointed out. And having that feature available at launch, would have been one extra thing on top, like because that was one of the big things that we had to wait like weeks to get fixed, was
Yeah.
to pick up and drop our weapons. Like, a basic feature like that, that would have been something like us, people that play these games a lot, we would have recognized right away and be like, hey, is that a feature? Like, should it be that way? Like,
Yeah.
I can't, I had a really cool legendary build, and then I accidentally picked up like, this pistol, and then it disappeared.
Dude, that happened to me so many times when I was streaming it. It was so annoying.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like he could have like at least got, fixed some things before the release.
Yeah, and
least.
I don't think the community would have been mad that the partner content creators got like a week or 2 week, early access to really, give some feedback and stuff. Like, I don't think the community would have been mad. If anything, they would have appreciated that, like, oh, hey guys, just to let you know, I played it. It wasn't running that well, but they found the issue as to why. Because I think, wasn't there an issue at launch where one of the reasons why there was such low FPS was because it was rendering all of the bots in or all of
Yeah.
it was rendering all of the bots on the map at the same exact time, which is why like even high-end devices were struggling, because it was like 60 plus people on a map and stuff like that. And that's something that, again, we could have potentially like been like, hey, like we're noticing really low frames or whatever, and there's only 5 real players in the lobby while we're testing this. Like, maybe it's something to do with the bots or whatever. That could have been something that they could have fixed or looked into before launch, and then found a solution and stuff like that. And I think the community would have appreciated stuff like that, instead of dealing with issues like dropping your legendary gun and now it's gone. And yeah, just little things like that, like AB said, could have gone a long way to sort of soften the blow that was the Combat Zone release. But yeah, it's crazy how that game has it's kind of unfolded.
Yeah, I think most of the community would have supported that, because I had seen comments before it really was released asking if we were going to get like early access and showing support for that, if that was the case. And so I'm not sure what Alpha's thinking was, but it's history
The
now.
haters ruined it for everybody.
But that does bring up an
me
interesting sort of like segue. Warzone Mobile, a lot of similarities actually to Combat Master in terms of like how that launch has sort of gone down and stuff. But with Warzone Mobile, I feel like this is quite possibly like that first initial like 2 week period where we just saw like constantly like content creators defending the game, going up against like community members on like Twitter and stuff. I feel like that was one of the most like divisive times that I've seen in like a mobile game in the last like 3 or 4 years of making content. Because I can't remember any other mobile game having like such like passionate arguments about like the problem with the game or the shortcomings and things like that. And I definitely don't remember other games or other times where content creators were like straight up like calling community members like poor, or like telling them to like work their asses off to get a better device then, or blaming them for the game's downfalls and stuff instead of the developers. Like, it's crazy the amount of stuff that has happened with Warzone Mobile. I feel like it's kind of died down now, in terms of that all that animosity and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Did you guys see a lot of that stuff?
Oh, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of stuff on Twitter, dude. I even got my fair share of like little jabs in at people here and there. And it's funny to see some of these like 100,000 subscribed channels or million plus subscribed channels, when they're literally like down talking to their audience. You know what I mean? Like like, even if it's not directly at somebody or at their entire audience, like the fact that you can argue with any member of your audience just because they can't play the game, like you just can't call people poor. You can't call people unmotivated, or you know just work harder, bro. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like, do you know what work harder means for somebody in India to be able to afford like a PC or a PS5 or $1,000 iPad Pro? Like, that's gonna probably mean months and months of work and months in saving, and that's gonna mean putting a tablet and electronic device over food, over essentials. Like it's just you don't do that. And I think a lot of these people, these creators, kind of exposed a side of themselves that, they're either one, they're so enthralled in social media that they would rather, get the impressions at any cost,
Mhm.
or this is truly how they feel about their people, about their audience, about the people that have put them up, on these platforms. And I just hope that a few people at least realized, what these content creators are all about, and then they make a decision for themselves whether or not they want to continue to support those content creators, because I saw some very nasty things, man. I saw some nasty things that from both sides equally, sure, but you know you
Yeah.
can't blame the player base, the gamers, the people that this game is intended for. These games are not meant for, content creator Joe Schmo to make a living off of. These games are meant for the audience and the players to enjoy and play, and then it's an whole monetary system that that's there's a different market involved there. But just these people, some of these guys, man, they just kind of shown some sides of themselves that are completely nasty. And I've seen some of them try to turn things around. But I mean, once you say something, I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of like you kind of expose yourself already. It's a little too late.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I think one thing it showed was just how disconnected some of the top content creators are to, like the financial situations of their community and the regions that they're from and stuff. And it was just crazy to see some of the biggest names in mobile like respond to people with like this phone is only $300, like just go out and get it. And then like they're responding to someone with like an Indian flag in their name, and then you search up like the minimum wage in India, and like $300 is like 3 months worth of salary or something. And it's just crazy for them to sort of like not recognize that like a majority of their community, and not even just their community but the mobile community in general, is made up of people that are in regions outside of the US where it's not easy to just come up with $200 or $300 to buy a phone just for a game. And to see how some of them kind of just reacted to all of these complaints about the optimization and stuff, and to just sort of or shame and just sort of divert the blame from the developers and the optimization issues to the community and stuff. Like it was just crazy to see like it happen in real time. And then I've seen some of what you said too, AB, like the sort of some of them backtracking a bit and like trying to save face. But it is kind of like once you come out as that, and like you kind of have such strong and like argumentative opinions about something like that, like you can't really take that back. Like people know what you think of the whole situation and stuff now. And it was just crazy. Sorry, PG, I know I cut you off there, but if you wanted to go ahead and give your take.
No, you're good. No, so I was just gonna say, I think it's crazy these guys, talking down to like, the big. I think India has like the biggest mobile gaming. It's like the biggest mobile gaming country in the world.
Yeah.
And I think it's insane, these guys that would do that and do that to themselves. And I understand that there should be like a certain cutoff, right? Where if you're developing a game where you can't we can't like develop for every single phone. We can't do, something this low end or this old or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But, like I don't know. That's just wild. Like for someone, a creator to do that and talk down to the people, to people that maybe can't afford, a brand new, device, a $2,000 iPad or whatever it is, to play a game. Like that's ridiculous, and that shouldn't be the cutoff for a game to work either. So
Yeah.
like that's insane. Like, and it's crazy for these companies to put stuff out like that and not even like really address it either. Not even really address like the issues and like, like maybe apologize like to these giant communities of, supporters, and let them know that they're working on it. And I don't know.
Yeah. To be fair to Warzone Mobile, they have obviously released a bunch of like hotfix updates and stuff, but
Yeah.
there's still obviously the issues still persist and stuff, and there's still reports of like low performance and like devices overheating and stuff like that. So obviously it's not like 100% fixed or anything, and it's been like well over a month now since the release. But
Right.
Yeah, I think you make a good point when you say like you shouldn't need such like expensive mobile devices just to play this game, because like realistically, if you think about it, like you can get especially now, you could get like a PS4 for example in the US for literally like $120, $150. Like they're so cheap now.
Yeah.
And that will play not just, you know, Warzone, but that'll play the full version of MW3, like the campaign, zombies, multiplayer, all of that stuff. And you know, the flip side of that is like, oh, but you're gonna need, you know, an $800 phone or like $1,000 iPad Pro to comfortably play the, you know, sort of shortened, like cut down version of that game, but on your phone. Like it's a little weird, and it's just not really worth it. And you know, the mobile community is made up of a lot of, you know, low to mid-range devices. Again, it's populated mostly in countries where PCs and consoles are just, you know, way too unobtainable and unaffordable. And so, you know, that kind of stuff does need to be kept in mind when it comes to like these games and stuff. And and that's not to say either that like, oh, companies shouldn't make, you know, really demanding mobile games, and they shouldn't try to like, you know, push what's possible on mobile or anything like that. But at the same time, you know, when you're kind of like I don't want to jump on the whole like conspiracy of like all these content creators were paid to say good things about Warzone Mobile and all this stuff. But if you are, you know, sponsoring a lot of these content creators and stuff, and they're on Twitter like poor shaming people and defending your game, like, well then, you know, that's kind of like it's a really bad look, and it's just really hypocritical. And yeah, I don't know, it's just it was just such a weird time to see like such big names in the mobile community like just going back and forth with their own communities, you know, basically making it seem like it's their faults for not being able to run an unoptimized game.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. I looked up the minimum wage, by the way, in India. It says it should be around $2 per day, or $45 US per month. Like, I guess whichever one comes first. So imagine you being like a, you know, a mobile gaming millionaire in the United States living in Los Angeles, telling someone from India who's making $45 a month to like just get their money up and buy an iPad Pro.
Yeah.
Like it's just so out of
That's
touch
wild.
with it's so out of touch with reality. And it's great. I had to block a couple of people just because they would not shut up about like just saying like dumb shit about the community not being able to play this game and stuff. It was like, man, at this point you guys are more annoying than the people that are like nonstop complaining about the game. And yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's where I hope, you know, like I was hoping that like some people or like some of these fans of certain people, they would kind of like wake up and realize, what's going on. And I have seen people point out viewership. Viewership for like Warzone mobile videos have gone down. Viewership for like live streams, so like certain live streamers where they would get like hundreds and thousands, of concurrent viewers. Let's say they play something like PUBG Mobile, or they play New State, or they'll play something like a little bit more like friendly, low end, mid range friendly games.
Yeah.
Some of those games were getting thousands of views, but when they play Warzone Mobile, they're getting like hundreds of concurrent viewers instead. I have seen a lot of viewership and views on videos. Anything with Warzone Mobile in the title has been getting a lot less views, and then I've been seeing a lot of those same content creators, the ones that were like talking shit. Like now they're like putting out like little mini apologies, or like, oh, I understand now. I'm gonna start
Mhm.
playing Bloodstrike a little bit more because Bloodstrike seems to be low end friendly, and I encourage you guys to come play with me because this is a game that we can all enjoy together. And it's like, you little politician,
Yeah.
ooh man, yeah. Once the views went down, the whole tone, the attitude changed. I have started seeing less trash talking, less bashing of like the low end mid range community. So I kind of have seen like a shift, and yeah, sure enough, a lot more people, basically everybody hopped on Bloodstrike.
Yeah.
Everybody played at least, yeah, at least a few days, kind of get the community back on their side. But yeah, I find that breaking of like the trust, It's kind of crucial, and I don't know if a lot of those people will be coming back to certain content creators, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a crazy time. Like I get it from a content creator perspective, where you want to keep your partnerships, you want to keep your sponsorships, you don't want to, trash talk Warzone Mobile because you might risk any potential future, programs or whatever. But at the same time, at what cost? At what will it cost you in the end? If your community, the people that put you here, if they're the ones that lose faith in you, they don't want to watch your videos anymore. You're not credible to them anymore. At what cost did that come to?
Yeah. That's the
You
thing though too though. Like I can understand not wanting to lose like a sponsorship, or even if you don't have it yet, like if you're working towards that, like you want to be invited to these Warzone mobile events and stuff like that. Like I can totally understand that. But there was definitely content creators who are very clearly, partnered and stuff, and weren't really participating in the arguments and stuff like that. And we're kind of just, keeping their head down, playing the game. And like, like Ferg, for example, I did not really see Ferg say anything about the low to mid-range community. Maybe he did, and maybe I missed it, but like he's someone who I saw was just like, I'm excited for the game came out, I'm gonna play it. And there was no real like hate train on him, at least because he wasn't out here, poor shaming people or anything like that. And I feel like that should have just been the answer to a lot of the content creators that did come under fire for all of the stuff that they were saying. Like, you can have your partnership, you can be working towards that, or working to keep that and stuff like that. But like, it was just so weird to see so many of them like wanting to argue about the game, wanting to like go out of their way to defend it and stuff, and to try and like downplay what people were reporting, as their experience and stuff. And that was where I kind of like started to feel less sympathy for them, because it's like, okay, well at this point you're looking for this controversy, you're looking for the arguments and stuff like that. You could have accepted the partnership, you could have just made your videos, do your live streams and stuff, and just kept your head down, not really said anything about it. But a lot of them didn't do that. A lot of them wanted to argue, a lot of them wanted to be right, and they wanted to make it seem like the community was at fault. And yeah, like you said, AB, like I've seen a lot of the little mini apologies or the backtracking and stuff like that, but none of that was necessary in the first place. All you guys have to do is just play the game and be quiet. But yeah, I don't know. For someone who doesn't really care about like sponsorships and stuff like that anymore, like I'm not actively trying to get any. If they come my way, cool. And if they don't, they don't. I just don't see it as being worth like losing the trust in your community and like that authenticity. Like I don't see it as worth losing all of that just to blindly defend a game, regardless of how much fun it is or not. Like I have plenty of games that I love playing, and I can still admit that they have issues, and I don't know why some of these guys couldn't do that. I don't know why it was so hard for them. I don't know why it took loss in viewership and like hundreds and if not thousands of hate comments and stuff like that for them to kind of see that. But yeah, it's crazy how many of these big content creators are not really your friends. They're kind of just doing their own thing.
Yeah, they could have easily just not said anything and being at the worst, like ignored, any comments or anything from the community. You know what I mean? At the worst, just like ignored it, kept their heads down, and like not said anything about it. But to go out of your way and like say all that crazy stuff about, you need to work harder and all that stuff. I think, yeah, they totally could avoid that, unless Activision, Warzone Mobile, or whatever was telling them, "Hey, push back our community, tell them wrong." Unless they're telling them to do that, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
It would. Yeah, it just seems weird to like go out of your way to want to do that.
Right. We want you to kill your community for us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Obviously, I hope Warzone Mobile improves, and I hope that more people continue to be able to enjoy it, like as it gets updated and stuff.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like I do hate that, like not just mobile games, but like gaming in general it has become more and more common to just release, like I said earlier, like release games that are clearly unfinished or like clearly unoptimized, and then just kind of expect your communities to just sort of put up with it until you finally decide to fix the game. It's becoming more and more common with
You
like
spend
PC.
money.
Yeah, like
Spending
that.
money. That's the weird part. Like they release a buggy half-ass game and they're like, "Oh, by the way, guys, here's lucky draws and bundles for you to buy." Like, bro, what? Your game
Yeah,
is
dude.
Exactly.
I was gonna mention that. I was gonna mention your video, AB. Because for people who don't know, they brought over lucky draws from Call of Duty Mobile. But they call it what is it? The Keep or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought that over from COD Mobile, and AB made a video on it. He made a really really good point. Where he said that you know, there is no lucky draw like the Keep in Modern Warfare 3 or Warzone on PC and console, but it is on mobile, and it's because, you know, what, like for whatever reason as a community, like they feel like they can get away with doing that, and they're kind of right, because the community does celebrate that and does actually spend their money on it and stuff. And it's crazy because they don't have that on MW3, they don't have that on Warzone on PC and console, because they know that those communities would like they would not just let that slide, you know, like the whole microtransaction thing and stuff. They tried to do it with like Black Ops 3 and like Infinite Warfare and stuff, the whole loot box thing, and within like a couple years they got rid of it and stuff, because it was just so much like pushback from the communities and stuff. But then you have you have mobile, and it's like it's, you know, some of these same content creators that we keep mentioning, like they celebrate this stuff and they make videos on it, and it's like, you know, income for them and stuff. And I don't know, it's super super weird that before even fixing the game and making it like truly playable for a majority of people, like we already have multiple lucky draws. Yeah,
They're gonna do one every week. That's their plan.
that's
so
crazy.
A lucky draw every week, dude. And they're selling it Modern Warfare 2 blueprints, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's so wild. And I know people will defend that and be like, oh, it's completely different teams in a game that handle, you know, optimization and performance and like skins and stuff. And of course that's true, but at the same time, it's just such like a distasteful thing to be, you know, focusing on this and stuff while you're also trying to like retroactively fix your game. It kind of reminds me of I don't know if you guys ever heard of the game Ark. It's like a survival game. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that, where like that what?
Is that the one with dinosaurs?
Yeah, that one. A few years ago, that game was in early access, so it wasn't even like a beta yet. It was like early access, and they started selling DLC expansions. And meanwhile, the game was like completely unoptimized. Like even like super high end computers were struggling to run the game. There was tons of like crashing issues and like hacking issues and stuff. And then they started selling DLC, and they got a bunch of pushback for that, because the game wasn't even, for one, it wasn't even fully launched yet, and you know, the other thing, it wasn't fixed. And it kind of reminds me of that. It kind of reminds me of that whole situation where like it's like, let's release a broken game, but you know, the lucky draw system, that shit's working for sure.
They're like, oh, we know how that works, and it's gonna work flawlessly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I saw this when I was chit chatting with improvings in the that tournament live stream. One of the things that I saw him post, or in the live chat, he was basically claiming that Warzone Mobile was set to sunset because Apex Legends Mobile made $4 million on its, I think, first day of release, supposedly, according to improvings. It made $4 million on its first day of releasing, whereas Warzone Mobile has made $900,000 up until now. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't even know where he got these numbers from.
Oh, that's for
But
sure not accurate.
but do you think eventually, like at this rate, do you think Warzone Mobile will sunset?
I think it's possible. I mean, I said it with like when Apex mobile shut down. I remember when I made a video, I was like, this should just be evidence that like no matter which developer and publisher is behind the game, or like how big of a franchise name it has behind it, there's no mobile game that's like immune to shutting down. Because obviously Apex is like such a huge like household name at this point. and it was being made by EA, which is like a multi-billion-dollar company, and that game didn't last 8 months. So it is possible. I think people who think that it's Call of Duty and it's just invincible. I think if it was costing them more money to manage this game than it was making, then I do think it is possible that they would shut it down and stuff. Whether or not that's going to happen before they fix the game and players come back and stuff like that, I don't know, but I 100% think it is a probability.
I think it's invincible. I'm sorry. I legit think I legit think Activision won't let it fail. I think it'll look so bad on them that they would rather just keep working to fix the game and then hope that if it doesn't pop off this year, it pops off next year or something like that.
That's the thing though, because they, even when they have games that kind of flop like on PC and console, there's a new one every year. So they do in a way sort of abandon the previous game and then just move on to the next thing. Obviously Warzone Mobile is not going to be like a yearly title, like it's gonna, it's meant to be like similar to COD Mobile, just like a live service game. But
Right.
But what's to say that they won't just like start sort of working on the next thing and eventually just sort of move on to that and just sort of leave Warzone Mobile in stasis, because there's plenty of mobile games that haven't been updated in like 2, 3, 4 years, but you can still play them, but they're not actively like supported. I could see that happening with Warzone Mobile. Like I could see them in a couple years releasing the next like COD Mobile, and
Right.
especially if everything's going to be built on this new engine, like the IW9 engine or whatever. I imagine that cuts down like development time by a significant amount. So who knows, maybe COD Mobile 2.0 or whatever they're going to call it, like maybe that'll just be what sunsets Warzone Mobile.
So do you think Warzone Mobile will make it to 2025?
I think so.
How long was Apex Mobile out before it got canned?
I think it was 7 months.
Wow,
Yeah, it didn't make it a full year.
Yeah, let me make sure that was
It was in it was in development longer than it launched.
Yeah, dude, I was making videos on its betas for like a year and a half. I didn't even have that much time to. Okay, so it says the release date was May 2022, and then the shutdown was May 2023. Oh, so it did make it a year.
Yeah, so
Barely.
I was asking because I was told that like I guess you have to give a game like a year to see to see if they can fix the game, give the optimizations and stuff that need to be done within the game. You give them a year. So that's what I was asking. Like, I wonder if it was at least a year. But with that being said, I think I kind of agree with AB as far as it being Call of Duty, and it would be huge. It would be a huge like dent if it failed. And they have like the money and resources to keep putting into it, to keep pushing it. And I think that they probably see the value in it if they can get it working right and more people playing, and especially with all the microtransactions and stuff that they've already put into the game. Like, they know that if they can get the game working right and more people can play it, people will come back to it. I think without a doubt. And being there, spending the money on the game, the microtransactions, all that stuff, and I feel like I feel like it's a monster behind it. So I just don't think they're gonna let it go.
Yeah. To comment on what you had said, AB, about improvings, saying that they had only made like 900K or something. I'm looking at this article. I could share my screen so that you guys can see it too. Let me know if you guys can see it.
Let me see. Yep, I see it.
Yeah, so it says they had generated 2.3 million in the first 2 weeks, and I guess lifetime revenue, because this was written on the 5th of April, so like a little less than 2 weeks ago. So I guess since the not even since the global release date, but since soft launch. So this is going like a year plus now because it was in Australia for so long at soft launch. They've made 3.1 million in the last year or so. I think Apex made like 40 million and they still shut down. That's another thing that I think is like worth pointing out. Yeah, Apex Legends hit 40 million, but it could be in trouble. Apex is now past 40 million lifetime earnings 8 months after launch. But obviously, I guess that was still not enough money. So at this point, at least, I think Apex has like completely dwarfed Warzone Mobile in like the same time frame in terms of revenue.
Damn.
Yes,
You might be right, Jab. I don't know.
No, I will say one thing though that you have to give like a little bit of leniency for Warzone Mobile. Cross progression. Maybe the reason why a lot of people have not spent money on Warzone Mobile itself is because they had already spent money in MW3, and maybe that stuff just carried over, so there was no real reason to drop $100 or whatever day one on Warzone Mobile. Whereas Apex did not have any type of cross progression, so you had to start from scratch and buy skins and all that stuff. But yeah, it seems like I don't know exactly. So they released in May of 2022, and this was written in June. So it seems like in 1 month Apex made 13 million, and it seems like since soft launch, so for a year plus, Warzone's only made 3. So they have not made much money on Warzone Mobile.
Yeah, and you make a good point though. I mean, it could be people are like if you're concurrently playing Warzone 3 and Warzone Mobile, you can just buy everything in Warzone and then just cross it over to mobile. I haven't bought anything on mobile. I haven't created a second wallet because for one, I think it's messed up that I gotta create a second wallet just for Warzone Mobile.
That's
When
crazy.
I was currently sitting at like 4,900 COD points on Warzone. So I just bought my bundles on Warzone and then just like bring them over to mobile. But I see no incentive to create a whole nother wallet and have to buy COD points separately, because I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Everything is cross progression. I could transfer over my levels, my bundles, I could bring over my blueprints, everything except for my money that I've put into the game, which is really weird. So I haven't spent a single penny within Warzone Mobile, but maybe that could also be like what Jab pointed out. Maybe that's why people aren't spending money in Warzone Mobile because maybe they're making their purchases on Warzone.
Yeah, it seems like.
Have you bought anything, PG?
No, not through the mobile, but I did notice that if you open up some of your battle pass inside of Warzone Mobile, that if you get free like CP points, it goes into the mobile, but it doesn't go over into your
your
other
no way,
account.
for real?
Yeah.
Oh
That's
no,
so
I'm not opening
bad.
up any tiers. No, never
Yeah,
mind.
don't do it. Don't do it. I realized the
Oh
hard
my
way. I
god,
have like 100.
I didn't
I
know
have
that
100
was.
CP points sitting in Warzone Mobile. I'm like, what?
Damn.
Man,
What are you gonna do with
So,
100 COD points on mobile, dude?
exactly. And that's what
Spend the
I mean,
stuff.
that's how they get you too, man. That's so shady, dude. It's like
Exactly.
yeah.
cross progression,
That's
but
what,
not the money.
and that's what I was trying to avoid. Oh my god, PG, thank you, man. Thank you
Dude,
for saving me.
No problem.
I remember when you told me about that, AB, when you were like, yeah, I have like X amount of COD points on PC, but they're not carrying over to Warzone Mobile. I was like, that's so dumb. Like I thought the whole thing was cross progression and like, why would you have 2 separate wallets and why? But that's even worse. Like if you just redeem what you already earned on your battle pass, like it's just stuck in mobile now. Like that's that's crazy. To go back
They
to
should at least have
the
an option to be able to transfer it over. You know what I mean? They don't. It's just like they
ex-
want you to have 2 different wallets. They want you to spend that much more money.
That's crazy,
dude. To mention the Warzone Mobile numbers again, this article actually compared it to COD Mobile, and it seems like COD Mobile was like in a completely different league in terms of compared to Warzone. COD Mobile generated 14 million in its first 2 weeks. So they basically made like what is that?
$1 million a day.
Yeah, a million a day, basically 4 times the amount of revenue as Warzone has in the last year, and they did that in the first 2 weeks.
Crazy.
That it's just crazy. I don't know. It seems like most of that's from the US. 32% of Warzone Mobile's total revenue is from the US, which makes sense because like, you know, you need such a good device to actually play this game in the first place. It makes sense that the spenders are from the US.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know, these numbers, these are worse numbers than Apex, and Apex shut down pretty quickly. So, but you guys are right. You guys do make a point when you guys say that like this is Activision. They've got basically like unlimited money. So if they wanted to take the hit on any game, like this would be the one. Like they could just keep supporting this, for as long as they wanted. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's still possible. I don't know if it'll happen, obviously, but I think it's still possible. And yeah, I don't
We should make a bet. We
Yeah,
should make a bet to see if Warzone Mobile will be here in 2025.
Make a bet right now.
okay, I'll bet $5 that I'll give them a year. So I'll do the Apex Mobile route. I'll give them a year, and I'll say $5 down. They'll shut down by, what was it, March that they released? So March 2025.
March 2025, they shut down.
Yeah.
Okay, I say that they're gonna go. They're gonna blow past that. They're gonna go all the way into 2026.
Oh, okay. PG, you gotta get in on this, but you can't use one of our dates.
So am I? So I'm trying to. I'm saying how long it'll go out. So can I say? Well, it'll at least go past. All right. I'll just. Well, I mean that's a long way from now, but I could say 2027.
Okay.
So we got to wait a while.
Fast forward to 2027. PG's like, hey, you guys owe me $5.
We're gonna be like World War III is gonna happen. We're gonna be all living like in bunkers, and then PG's gonna show up like, "Hey guys, it's 2027. What did I say? Where's my $5?"
Yeah, I might do that $5 then.
I had another topic about another mobile game. Kind of mobile, actually. Not it's not gonna be mobile only for too long. Arena Breakout.
Yeah.
Arena Breakout is officially coming to PC, and I think it's gonna happen either tomorrow or on the 19th. I'm not entirely sure because of like time zones and stuff. But
Really?
dude, that's what I was led to believe in the email that they sent me. It was I guess meant for content creators, and it was like to sign up for like early access to it, I guess. And
so are you saying early access is on the 19th? Is that what you're saying?
I honestly I don't know.
Okay.
It's very like they're not too good on the details, but
Right.
from the date that it said on the email, it said the 18th, and yeah, apparently it's going to be called Arena Breakout Infinite. I realized I'm not sharing my screen anymore. One sec. They've already made like a social media for it. Like they've got an official verified like Twitter account now. I think they got a website or something, and they've been teasing it. They've been teasing it with like these little like images and like tweets and stuff like that. But it's basically going to be Arena Breakout but on PC. And I thought it was super interesting because, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, like a lot of these mobile games are starting to like just transcend, I guess, what normally makes a mobile game, and they're starting to do things like controller support or mouse and keyboard support, or having a cross-play or cross-progression version on PC and stuff. And it seems like Arena Breakout's following that. They haven't given any details on if it's cross-play or cross-progression. Is it like the same exact game with like the same exact content on mobile, or is they haven't given too much info, but I guess we're gonna find out like in the next 2 days or whatever. But I was wondering, are you guys going to try it since it's going to be on PC?
100%.
AB, I know you've already tried it, and I remember the live stream.
No, I remember we played we played Lost Light together. No.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember you and Spry were playing Lost Light. You guys were trying to get me to play Lost Light, and I couldn't get past the tutorial.
yeah. It was Lost Light. It's very similar game.
But
Yeah,
Arena Breakout, I'm excited for it because I like the way it looks. I like what I've seen of the game. I like the like the partnership that the devs or the game has with content creators, and I like being able to play some of these mobile games on PC because I think they're really good mobile games. But like I just always think about like, man, if I can play like on my big monitor and hook up a controller or something like I want
Mhm.
to try this out, just like I did with Combat Master, COD Mobile, Bloodstrike. Like more and more of these games are kind of like including like a PC version, controller support, mouse and keyboard, you know, and it's just something that I'm excited for. I think this will be the first time that I play Arena Breakout will be the PC version.
yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I've
excited for
never
it
played it.
too. It's one of those games that's very difficult. Um,
Oh no.
and well, it's difficult. I was gonna
Never mind.
say because of I was gonna say because of the touch controls, dude. It's like, it's a very accurate shooter. There's like inventory management and stuff like that. And I don't know, when I play the touch version, I kind of feel like I'm nerfing myself, and I'm just like, oh, dude, I'd be so much better with like a mouse right now, like, dragging this red dot sight or whatever to the gun, or doing this
Mhm.
or that or whatever. So this for me is really cool. I also think it's really cool because the only other thing like it on PC is obviously Escape from Tarkov, which is like this whole game is, inspired by.
Mhm.
But Tarkov for the longest time has been like a very demanding game. And so, Arena Breakout opens up the door for like low end PC gamers and mid range PC gamers and stuff to be able to play something very similar. So I think it's just good for Arena Breakout, like just for the longevity and to keep this game alive and stuff. It's not everyone's cup of tea, of course. It's got a learning curve. It's not a normal BR or anything like that. But I think it's a really good game. It's one of the few new shooters that's came out like post COD M that I feel like has some staying power and like is actually worth playing. So yeah, I'm super excited for it. If I
I mean,
do, if just real quick, if it does come out tomorrow or the 19th or whatever it is, I'll for sure be playing it on PC.
hell yeah, dude! I can't wait. Would you stream it or just record some videos?
No, I'd probably stream it because I already know like my dumbass is gonna need help like knowing the game and hotspots and stuff like that. So they'll probably help me out a little bit.
I gotta watch that
Hell
one.
yeah. Yeah. Anyone out there watching or listening to this right now, Arena Breakout was like game of the year last year on multiple what would you call it, Jab?
Like websites
Multiple articles,
slash yeah
websites,
articles.
and yeah, it was a top game. It was like number one mobile game, and on a lot of people's lists. It's a very good looking game, and it's definitely something more like hardcore for the hardcore players out there. It is not like Call of Duty. It's not like Apex. It's a looter shooter. Just look up Escape from Tarkov, and it's essentially that, but on mobile. And it's supposed to be a really good game. It's probably too hardcore for me, but knowing that it's coming to PC, I'm more willing to give it a try, just
Oh,
because I know I'll have more controller options. Mouse and keyboard. It'll probably free my hand. I don't know. I just feel like playing it on mobile, like on touch, it'll probably just be too complicated for me. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely one of those games that was on a lot of people's radar, and a lot of people grew their channels. People's channels blew up because of Arena Breakout. So definitely
yeah.
something that I'm down to check out.
yeah, I'm gonna check it out too. I'll probably instantly hate it. Sounds like, but I'm gonna try it out anyways. It's like instant rage. It sounds like I can feel it already.
Well,
Yeah, dude.
you can queue up with friends in this, right?
Yeah. You can play solo, and I think they'll put you in a random squad, or you can just team up with 2, 3, 4 of your friends or whatever, and go into raids like
See,
that.
I think that's what'll make it interesting. You going along with someone else to suffer with you.
Yeah.
Let's make it more fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and because I don't know if you guys know, but like if you die in the raid, like that's it. Like you just lost all your stuff, you know. And it's not like a BR where you just get random loot every match, and you know you use that for that match only, and then you know you start a new one or whatever. Like in a raid in Arena Breakout, like you can either find loot in there and you just keep it and it's yours now, or you can bring in like a gun that you tricked out in the gunsmith or whatever. But if you die you lose it, like you know, like it's gone. And playing
It's
with
like DMG.
yeah, pretty much. And playing with a squad it comes in clutch though, because if you die and you have like a $100,000 you know MP5 and it's going to take you a long time to get that back, like one of your friends can pick that up and I think they can give it to you. So so it's cool little interactions like that kind of separate it from like other shooters on mobile. And it's things like that I like. It is a frustrating game though because of that though. Like you can put so much time into getting like good loot and then you just lose it in an instant. But yeah, super interesting game though.
Well, I'll give it a shot, man. As soon as I get frustrated, though, it's getting uninstalled.
Yeah, right.
Dude, I remember that frustration. That frustration you had in Lost Light when you couldn't figure out the tutorial.
Oh my god! You know, there's been a couple times that I couldn't get past a game because of a bug. Lost Light. Apparently, everybody in the chat was telling me that it was bugged. They said that I should have been able to get out through out of the tutorial, but something was wrong. And then because I suffered for like an hour and a half, I said, never mind, I'm never playing this ever again, and uninstalled it. The other time that I struggled with the game was I was streaming Alien Isolation on mobile, and I was digging it. I was having a really good time. And I found this like computer room, and I had to like trigger some kind of event. And I kept walking to all the computers, and people were telling me, I think you might have been there in the chat as well. And you were like, you have to check this one computer and it triggers this event. And I kept going to the computer, nothing would happen. Tried another computer, nothing would happen. I would walk through a door, nothing would happen. I'm like, bro, what is going on? So I got super frustrated and never played the game again, even though I was having such a good time.
Yeah, dude, I remember that live stream. I remember me and you were in the similar spot, like in the game. And so when you were struggling to figure out what to do next, I pull out my Switch and I start playing to try to figure it out so I could tell you. And then yeah, I was telling you like you just gotta, you know, turn this computer on or whatever it was. And I think yours was just like bugged out or something because it wasn't happening. And it was just like an hour PG of AB like struggling to figure this game out. And then he was like, you know what, guys, that's it. I'm getting off. Like,
Like I'm
oh
good.
man,
That's funny.
Oh, dude.
So
Did you have? Oh, go ahead, PG.
Oh, I was gonna bring up. So there's another game that's testing starting this Friday, which is XDefiant. Have you guys played that?
Yeah.
AB has. I've watched his streams, but I have not tried it out yet. It's like what is it? Like it's like a first person shooter like COD?
Yeah. So when it originally, before it came out for its first testing, they were saying that it was gonna be like the COD killer and all this stuff. I played it. I wasn't like that big on it. I felt like it was kind of hard. Like the time to kill was like insanely fast. Like I was getting like one shot at it. It seemed like every time I died. So it's kind of tough. But I see the potential in it for sure. It feels like when I originally played it, it felt kind of weird. The movement and stuff felt kind of floaty, which I didn't like. But I think they changed it like the second time around that I played it. It didn't feel the same way. And then so Friday they're coming out. I think it's just for like a server test. So I think they're gonna release the game pretty soon, probably after that. So it's Friday and Saturday. I think they're having testing.
Damn,
Just a couple of days. I saw the notifications and stuff. It's one of those games that like I was probably just as excited as you, RPG. Like it's just one of those games like another game to play. You know, you're looking for that one special game to like be consistent on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I have not played it. I know just a little bit about it because of AB. But that sounds sick. I'll definitely check it out. I haven't had up until this point. I haven't had like a legit like PC. I've been using the Steam Deck as my main computer, but that's one of the reasons why I haven't played that game. But yeah, now that I have a computer, I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, you can download it right now too.
Oh shit!
For the testing, for Friday and Saturday.
Oh nice.
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday. Do I work? I do work, but I'll be available.
Call off.
I work early.
Yeah, I'll probably be
right.
streaming
Yeah, I
on
wish.
Thursdays.
Oh, speaking of streaming, PG, I wanted to ask you something real quick. You've
Yeah.
been doing a lot of vertical streams. How's that working out?
It's really good. It's been really good for engagement. Like I've been finding like a ton of people, like new subscribers and stuff. But for some reason, like recently, like over the past like week, it's really slowed down. I think it's just the state of the games right now, which I think is the problem. So people are kind of probably seeing it come up in their feed, and they're just like, screw this game or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but it was like I started doing it like before Warzone Mobile was released, and I was getting a really good turnout, really good turnout, and it's just kind of like died down since then. But it's still like I'm still getting like a good amount of engagement, not as much as I was, but it's been really good for like reaching new subscribers and stuff, for sure.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've only tried it out once.
Like a new. Oh no, sorry. Go ahead, Jab. I've been cutting you off way too much, man. My bad.
No, dude. I just wanted to say, yeah, I only tried it out once, but it was a little bit more successful than my normal streams. I think my normal ones I get like 20 people, but the vertical one was like 35 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it would probably be better if I stream more than twice a year, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like there were like a lot of days where I was getting like 30 plus new subs when I would stream vertical.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know for a while there was like a good amount of when it was new, there was like a lot of hype. Like I saw the numbers and I was like, holy moly, bro, people are getting crazy numbers on this vertical thing. But I never got into it. I just got too lazy.
You're the one that
I got too lazy to do it.
Yeah, AB's the one that told me about that whole thing. I was like, yeah, let me try this. Let me look this up. See how this goes. And I was like really surprised. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Have you guys ever tried streaming on TikTok?
I haven't, just because I think you need like 1,000 like followers or something like that.
Yeah, you need like 1K.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Oh, okay.
But I also heard TikTok is like dying and not going to be available in the US pretty soon.
Yeah, I keep hearing that too, but then I keep hearing like, no, it's all cap. So I have no idea, but I tried streaming on, because it does the whole vertical streaming thing too. And I remember I tried streaming COD Mobile on there once, and it was like a hand cam stream. And it was crazy because like the first 2 minutes of the stream were like, 0 viewers. And then all of a sudden it was 180. And I was like, whoa, like what? I was like, what's going on? Like, what happened? And I think I only did it for like half an hour, and like the average was like pretty high, like it was like 40 or 50. And I was like, dude, this is more than I get on fucking YouTube. And yeah, it's crazy. I've seen some people blow up with the streaming thing on TikTok. Lord Heck, I don't know if you guys know him. But yeah, that dude's killing it on TikTok. It's just non-stop for him. Like every time I open it, he's got like 2 new TikToks. He's live at that moment. Like he's killing it.
Not to flex too hard, but he did become a channel member the other day.
Damn.
Hey.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I was streaming. I think I was streaming Warzone Mobile, and he popped into the chat. And I've always said hi to Lord Heck. I've known him from the beginning of the Combat Master days.
Yeah.
Never really talked to him too much, but it's always been friendly, back and forth and stuff, and in chat or comments. And he popped into the stream, and he was like, I'm happy to see you do your thing. And I was like, yeah, bro, I see you growing. And I think he posted something on Twitter that Jinxie reached out to him and wanted to do some kind of like collab and stuff. And so he's been doing like some big stuff, and he became a channel member, and I was like, hey, let's go. Lord.
That's awesome. He's the one that plays with the Switch controllers, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That I don't think people realize like how crazy that is, because I know he uses gyro, but like the Switch controllers suck for first person shooters. Like the buttons are so small.
Yeah.
It's not a controller meant for, you know, shooting games in my opinion. And then here's this dude like playing better than I do on my best day with a mouse and keyboard, and he's over here like flicking a Joy-Con, or like he's got it in the little switch attachment. It looks like a shotgun, and like he's like
Right.
killing it, and it's crazy. Like it's crazy how good he is with that.
It is demoralizing.
Yeah, dude. It's like why even try?
Hey, shh.
It's crazy too though, because I've never played like randomly with a YouTuber, like just like queuing up with it in a game or whatever. Like I've never been paired with one, but I paired up with him in Warzone Mobile, and it was just completely accidental. Like I wasn't streaming, he wasn't streaming. We weren't on each other's friends list or anything like that. Like I just jumped into a Rebirth Island game, and he was on my team. And I was trying,
Wow.
because I know he's good, you know, so I was trying so hard to just like support him and like defend him so he could do his thing.
Yeah.
And I failed, unfortunately. He ended up dying. I couldn't buy him back, and then I clipped it, and I was like, look, dude, like I was running after you, like I was running to save you and stuff, and then he was like, I didn't even know you were on my team. But yeah, it's crazy that like he was the one time that I've been randomly paired up with like a content creator in a game.
That's funny. I wonder. I played so much Call of Duty Mobile, and like I don't think I've ever encountered, you know, any other like CC. I see people with YouTube in their name, but I'm like, you know, then I look them up, and they have like 2 subscribers, and I'm like, okay, dude.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I do the same thing.
Yeah,
I wonder.
I always look them up.
Oh yeah, I would. I've had a few people actually like look me up, and they're like, you know, it's always like Spanish speaking people, and they're like, "Hola, bro, I was in your game." And I'm like, "Hey, what's up, bro? Like, sorry it went down like that, man. You know, we're just too good." What can I say?
Oh man.
Did you have any other topics, Jab? I know you kind of had like 18 topics you wanted to go through today.
I have one more. This is more like of a my thing. I don't know if you guys would be too interested in it. But
Hell
I'll share my screen real quick. So for people who don't know, Apple recently, like within the last 2 weeks, Apple changed their policy on emulators in the App Store. Before they were like super strict with the like absolutely no emulators in the App Store, and it was one of the reasons why Android was, you know, like superior, because you could play, you know, old DS games or Game Boy games or whatever it is that you wanted. Like you could easily get that stuff on the Google Play Store. But recently Apple changed their policy on that, and they're now allowing it, and literally within like, you know, just 1.5 to 2 weeks, emulators have started to appear. And today, this one has appeared on the iOS App Store for everyone, and it's crazy because it supports like a bunch of Nintendo systems, but it's just one emulator. So it supports the OG Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the N64, the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance, and the DS. And it's crazy because, again, like Apple was like super strict with this stuff. Like they did not allow these type of things on their App Store, and now like you can get a really cool emulator and play like all these OG like Pokemon games or like N64 games. Like you can play Mario 64 on your iPad now or whatever. And it's just really cool, and it's just something that I wanted to point out in case anyone's interested in retro games on their iPhone or on their iPad. And yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, that guy Firefox, he's confirming Bluetooth controllers work.
Yeah, can confirm Bluetooth controllers were connected on my PS5 and PS4 controllers for multiplayer on the N64.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude, it's
Dude, there's so many old school games
yeah,
that
dude,
I would love to get back into.
it's great. Oh yeah, look, they have the official controllers that they support listed. Switch Pro controllers, Joy-Cons. Lord Heck's gonna love that. The Switch Online controllers, PS4, PS5, Xbox, any MFI game controller or Bluetooth, and wired keyboards too. Damn.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's super cool, especially if you're like, you just want some like single player game or whatever to, spend some time in when you're on the bus or in the airplane or whatever. I've already set this up on both my phone and my girlfriend's phone just so we can play Pokemon. And it's super cool that this stuff is starting to come to the App Store, because you needed an Android to do this stuff before, and it always felt like something that I was missing out on, being on iPhone for so many years. But now it's changing. I'm hoping that more emulators come too. I'm hoping like a PSP emulator or something comes in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, that was pretty much all I had. Unless you had anything else, AB or PG.
If PG doesn't have one, I do have one that I would like to share.
For sure, dude.
Oh no, I'm
PG
sorry.
downloading, installing Super Mario.
Yeah,
right now.
he's looking up where to legally acquire DS ROMs for free.
All right.
He's like Leisure Suit Larry, install now. I kind of wanted to talk about this one here. I don't know if you guys can see my share. I hope it's actually streaming it.
Mine is loading up.
Yeah, loading.
All right.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Better. Got it?
Yep.
All right. So me and Miz, we got really, really into the Fallout series. I don't know if you guys have watched Fallout on Amazon Prime yet.
I haven't watched it yet, but I want to.
Yeah. Okay. It is so freaking good, dude. Like legit. It is such a good show. And I started realizing that like it's starting to become a little bit more mainstream. Like all these like video game, like TV show, movie adaptations. I feel like we're starting to come into like a new renaissance era of like video game adaptations are like getting actually good. And I was kind of looking at this list. I was thinking like, I wonder what are like the best, what are considered like the best video game adaptations. And I found this list here on this website. It's called Collider. They have like the top 13. Do you guys have any idea of what would be like the top 10? Well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go through the list of the top 10, and I wonder if you guys have seen them, or what do you guys think about them? Does that sound kind of fun?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. All right. For reference, I have seen like the 1985 Super Mario Brothers movie, the one with John Leguizamo. So video game movies, they've been around for a long time. A lot of them since like the 80s, 90s, they've all been kind of trash. It kind of seems like for whatever reason, they never adapt them properly. They don't work with the video game creators, so these movies always kind of suck ass. But lately though, like in the past, I don't know, 5-10 years, stuff's been getting pretty good. At number 10, they have Halo. Halo released in 2022. I'll be honest, I haven't watched season 1 and I haven't watched season 2. Season 2 like just dropped. But there's been kind of like some mixed reviews about Halo. Have you guys watched Halo?
I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't either, and I probably won't.
Yeah, I think I played Halo like one time, and I'm not up on Halo, so probably not.
I haven't really played Halo I play like the new one, Infinite or whatever. Like I'll play it every once in a while with friends, but I haven't really been into Halo since like Halo 3, and even then it was just like, let me play with my brothers or cousins or whatever, not super into the lore or anything like that. But from what I know, it seems like a lot of the controversy around this is that they like kind of doing what you just said, AB, where they're not really like working with the ones that made the game in the first place, so they're kind of doing their own thing. For example, it's like a big thing that like Master Chief does not take the helmet off, and I think in the show he's like mostly without the helmet, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I know they did they make Cortana a real person?
I don't know 100% sure because I haven't watched the show, but I
Yeah.
do know about them unmasking Master Chief, which is like a big no-no. One of the big,
Yeah.
like you said, the lore behind Halo is that Master Chief stays behind his helmet. We never
Yeah.
get to see his face. But for the show, they're like almost immediately remove his helmet for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
I remember, I don't know if it was true or not, but I remember seeing like an article and I think it said the actor like himself just does not like the helmet or whatever. Like he doesn't want to be, I guess, like, covering his face. And I guess that's the explanation as to why he's like without the helmet for most of the show. But yeah, Cortana, for people who don't know, Cortana is like the AI like hologram assistant or whatever. And I think they made her like a real person. So it's like things like that where they like drastically change like the lore and like the things that make the characters, unique and stuff. And I don't know, it's kind of weird. I like it better when I think they stick to the source material a little bit more. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, that's at number 10, Halo. Let's go to number 9. Number 9 is Gangs of London. I guess this game originally released in 2006 on the PSP. Did you
Never
play it,
heard of it.
Jeb?
No, never even heard of it.
Me neither. Yeah, so these Peaky Blinders, crime show, especially shows about organized crime, were pretty popular with audiences, with successful shows like Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, or Peaky Blinders. Gangs of London was already going to be a hit. But yeah, I think just I guess just the topic of what it is, is very similar to these other kind of shows. So maybe that's why it's doing so well and why it's so popular. But yeah, this
Yeah.
game, never heard of it. 2006. I don't think anyone watching this show really knows about the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
I
I
highly
would,
doubt it.
I, I would, I don't, I'd probably be willing to watch the show, and I mean, not really care about the game.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes, says despite the bizarre choice of source material, the show works pretty well. So they probably just wanted the name. I don't know, kind of weird, but yeah, number 9,
Yeah.
Gangs of
That's
London.
hard.
At number 8, we have Carmen San Diego, the original game released in 1985. And this looks to be like an animated series of Carmen San Diego.
Yeah, I never heard of
I
it.
I never really played the game, but I was familiar with it. I think there was a TV show where
Yeah.
I think it was like a kids TV show where they would essentially play like Where's Waldo with the audience, but it was all Carmen San Diego, and you would go on. I don't know if I'm trying to remember correctly, but there was a TV show. It was kind of like for kids, and it might have been live action, and you were trying to solve these mysteries. I even want to say there was a cartoon like back in the day, but apparently this Carmen San Diego, I guess, reboot from 2019 to 2021 rated number 8 on this guy's list.
Damn.
Mm.
That's crazy because
No.
I never even heard of the show, not even to mention the games.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
You've
I've
never
heard
heard
the
of
show.
No.
I didn't even know. I
Carmen
didn't know if there
San
was a.
Diego?
I didn't know it was a game. I'm not sure if I knew it was a game or not, but I knew there was some kind of show or something.
Yeah, from what I remember, well, let's read a little bit about it. Originally started as an educational series of video games, it seems weird that educational games of all things would be turned into a Netflix TV series. But this one worked pretty well as it saw the release of 4 seasons in just 2 years and received stellar reviews. The Netflix series decided to spice things up a little and craft an action adventure series with some of the classic education thrown in, just to keep things at least a little reminiscent of the originals. Okay.
Educational. That's probably why I didn't know about it.
This one is very recent, 2023. At number
Yeah.
7, Twisted Metal. The
Yeah.
original released in 1995 on the PlayStation 1 and PC.
I didn't know that they made a movie on that.
It's a show. This is like a
show?
10 episode show. Yeah, it's actually really good. Me and Miz watched this one. We binged it.
I haven't seen it, but I have heard of the game, and the game was sick. And
Yeah.
yeah.
The game was so cool, dude.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I thought this was still like, I didn't know it had released. I thought it was like still in like production or whatever.
Wait,
Yeah,
what
they
is that on?
released it. I think it's on Amazon.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and yeah, this actor right here, the guy playing Sweet Tooth, this is actually a wrestler named Samoa Joe. I don't know if you guys know Samoa
Oh
Joe.
yeah, I know.
No.
Yeah,
That's,
so the actor is Samoa
Sweet
Joe, but
Tooth.
then the voice actor was Will Arnett.
Is it
oh,
really?
okay. It's got small
That's
nipples.
funny.
PG looking at that chest like, nah, fam. You start doing some bench press, dog.
Sweet Tooth
Yeah,
is in the gym.
he's got to get on the PG workout routine.
But yeah, I remember playing the original game. Funny story, I never owned a PlayStation 1. I never owned a PlayStation 2. My first PlayStation was a PlayStation 3. So a lot of games I would play by going to my friends' houses. They all had like the different consoles. So like if I had the N64, one friend had a Super Nintendo, and then the other friend across the street had like a PlayStation, and then like another one had a Sega Genesis. So we would all like
Damn.
travel to different friends' houses to play like all these different games. It was pretty cool.
That sounds like me too. Same thing.
I played Twisted Metal on the PS1, and it was because my cousin had the he had that PS1 that had the attachable screen on it. So
Oh, wow.
so he didn't actually have a TV in his room or anything, but he had that. So we would literally like all huddle up next to this 5-inch screen or whatever it was, and we'd be
Oh
playing
my
games.
god.
Yeah, it was sick though, dude. It was like he would be like, "Oh, let's go to the living room," and he just all he had to do was take the power cable and the console, and it was, it was like a little portable console. It was sick.
Yeah,
Guys are
I think that
sitting
was
on
the
top of each
idea, right?
other.
Sitting in each other's laps.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, bro, pass the controller. Hey, yo, bro, pass the console. You know what? They
man.
actually tried doing this a lot during like the 90s. I think they even made one for, I think it was the GameCube. Like, I don't know if it was like a Mad Catz, I mean, like screen that you would attach. But a lot of the consoles back then in the day, they were trying to make small, sleek consoles, and then like these third-party businesses, companies would try to make like these attachable screens and stuff so you can like transport your console. It was a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I remember seeing they oh damn. I remember seeing them do that with the PS3 and the Xbox 360 actually. GameStop, they sold this like, it was like a briefcase basically, and your console would go in there, and it had like all the like necessary hookups or whatever, and then it had a screen attached, and all you had to do, I guess, was like plug it into an outlet. And I used to think that was so cool, and I wanted it like so bad, but even though, I didn't even travel or anything, but I just thought it was cool. So
Yeah, so I don't know when the last Twisted Metal game was made, but the TV show came out like last year, and it's actually really good. I would recommend it. It's got some pretty good car combat stuff and cool characters like Sweet Tooth.
I'm gonna check it out for sure.
oh dude, Cyberpunk.
Number 6, Cyberpunk Edge Runners came out in 2022.
Yeah, dude.
So the game released what, the same year? Oh, 2020. And then this one looks animated, and this was in 2022. Have you watched this, Jeb? Sounds like you do.
Yeah,
you
it's like a it's like a an anime. It's like a it's set in the world of Cyberpunk, but it takes place, I think, before the events of the game. And there's not that much crossover with characters from the game, but there is a few, so it is cool to see them like, before the events of the actual game itself and stuff. But yeah, the animation is like really, really good. The entire world fits really well in, like an animation, style. And it's really short too. I think it's like 10 episodes or something like that, and then it's over. Like there's no sequel or anything like that. But yeah, it's really, really good. Really good soundtrack too. I watched this while intoxicated, and it was fantastic.
I like it says original release 2020 on the Windows, PS4, Xbox One, and Stadia. That doesn't exist anymore, right?
No, R.I.P. You know,
R.I.P. Stadia.
you know what was cool though, because You know, like when we see like mobile games shut down or whatever, like for example with Apex, like they'll just be like no refunds for the stuff that you bought, you know, for the game. But
Yeah.
I think Google was actually cool about Stadia, and I think they actually did refund the stuff that people bought on that platform. So if you actually
Oh wow.
bought, yeah, like if you actually bought your games on Stadia, since they were shutting it down, I think they actually did give you refunds because it was only around for like a few years. Um, and I remember being like, oh damn, like they could have pulled an Apex Mobile and been like, yeah, no refunds, you know, you guys can kick rocks or whatever. But no, they gave everyone their money back.
That's
Yeah, I've
pretty
never
cool.
played that
Did
game.
you ever play the game?
Yeah,
What about you, Jab?
yeah, I actually beat it on my Steam Deck. It's one of those games that like you kind of want to spend a lot of time in. So I probably would not have beat it if I just played it on console or on PC. But since I played it on the handheld, you know, I could just take it wherever and play, you know, for 30 minutes at a time or, you know, whatever it was. So yeah, I beat it probably like 4 or 5 months ago. I haven't played the DLC yet. I heard it's good, but the main game itself was actually very very good once they, you know, fixed it, because this was another one of those examples of games that released completely broken, and they fixed it later on. But yeah, it's definitely a game worth checking out.
EG, I know you're not like big on anime. Is this something that you would watch? Does it look interesting at least?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it follows the game. Like, if I build to understand it without playing the game, then possibly watch it. It's funny because it's funny you're talking about anime. I never thought that I had watched anime before, but I guess from what I've been told, I don't know. You guys are like, or at least I know AV is like the expert in anime. I don't know, but I used to watch like Voltron and stuff like that back in the day, and I was told that that's considered anime. I don't know if it is or not.
I think yeah. I think it's considered like classic anime, like 80s and
Yeah.
90s.
So I
I
used to
think
watch
Voltron
that.
was like the 80s, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Robotech too. Robotech, even though it deals with like,
Mhm.
because some of those enemies they look super Western, like
Yeah.
Westernized, I guess, you know. It's like super military. You see a lot of like American references, but they're like all like made in Japan. And, I think yeah, I think technically like Robotech, Voltron, all that Gundam, they would all qualify as anime.
Like
I don't.
Transformers
Jab
too
would probably know way more.
was Japanese too, like back in the 80s, cartoons, all that stuff.
Was it actually?
I think it was, wasn't it?
I don't know. I always thought Transformers was made in the U.S., but I could be wrong.
Mm. I don't know.
I
Let's go
think
back.
I think it does have some non-US like stuff. I think it might be Japanese. I know Power
Oh,
Rangers is.
P PG, you're the original anime guy here. Then
I'm
you
the
just didn't
OG
know it.
anime guy. Yeah.
You're the OG.
Yeah, I didn't even know what Voltron was. I had to look it up right now.
Yeah, I haven't
What? You
watched
don't
it.
remember Voltron?
Bro, I'm not from the 80s.
Come on, man. They actually rebooted
Me
Voltron. I
either.
think like in the mid. They rebooted it in like 2020s, I think. Not the 2020s, like the 2010s. They rebooted Voltron, and it was actually doing pretty good. I think it was a Netflix series.
Voltron was
Pretty cool.
awesome.
It looks very similar to
I
Gundam.
forgot. Yeah,
Yeah, that's sick.
yeah. There
I
was
like
like
those
different
like
tigers.
mecha stuff.
All right. At
Castlevania.
number 5, what about this one? Castlevania. I heard this one's really good.
I know of the game, of course.
The
It's a
original game released in '86.
yeah, I know of the game. I've never played one, but
Sorry,
you
bro. Go
know,
ahead.
they're so it's such an iconic name that, you know, everyone's heard of it. Never played any of the games though, and I haven't seen the show either.
I
I
used to
heard
play
the
the
anime. I
original.
heard this show is actually really good. You played the games, PG?
Yeah, I used to own that game. I'm like dating
Hell yeah.
myself right now, but I used to own that
Hell
game, and
yeah.
it was super hard, and I used to love it and hate it at the same time. But yeah, I know that game. I've never seen the show though.
When I
Man,
was a kid, I had a cartridge that was baby blue. I believe it was Castlevania, but my memory isn't what it used to be.
Baby blue.
I don't know what
for
happened to that cartridge,
for
but it
what
was
console?
it was a baby blue cartridge for the NES, but it didn't look like a regular NES cartridge. It was a little rounded where it was square on the end. Um and but it worked in my NES, and I
Hmm.
remember it. I remember it being Castlevania, but I'm not 100% sure. It might have been some kind of bootleg game, and it was so hard.
Yeah, that's one
But
thing
I'll
that
never
I
forget that freaking cartridge.
yeah, that's one thing that I've heard about this game is that for one that it was kind of like the one of the first styles, of this type of game to I guess now they call them like like clones of Castlevania or like Metroidvanias or whatever. And I heard that they were like really really hard, but I never played them myself.
Yeah, it was hard. It was really hard.
Yeah, I want to check out the show. I heard really good things about it. I heard it's very gory and it's got like a nice animation style.
Check it out.
I
Number
looked up
four,
AB
Arcane.
real quick. I looked up
Yeah, yeah.
blue NES cartridge, and the only thing that came up was like a
Uh-huh.
200 games in one like fake NES game. Like those, I guess those type that you get like at a swap meet or something. So maybe that's what you had.
Yeah.
You got the
No,
bootleg.
it only had one game on it. It had a label and everything.
Dude, you got ripped off. You could have had the other 200 games.
It was
That's crazy. I'm
Castlemania.
actually okay. So, so I googled light blue. I'm looking at my phone. I googled light blue cartridge, and those look like the cartridges that I remembered.
Oh,
But
and it
those
and it
aren't the.
is.
That's not the game. Yeah, that looks like the cartridge. They look a little different. They're for the Famicom.
Mm.
Maybe they were. I don't know, man. I'll figure this out later. I'll DM you when I solve this mystery.
Are you sure it was an NES and not one of those like swap meet like 1,000 games in one bootleg consoles?
No, it was a cartridge that went into my NES, and it was light blue and it had a different shape on the handle part of it. And I swear it was Castlevania. I remember the load up screen. It was like a bunch of clouds with the castle in the background. And I remember playing like this little wizard dude that would throw, I don't know, magic to defeat enemies.
No,
Maybe
that
it
wasn't
wasn't
it.
Castlevania.
No, that wasn't
Peter's
it.
like, that's not a Castlevania.
It bothers me. It bothers me so much that I just my memory, because I was so young. Like I don't know. Uh,
You gotta find what game that is. I gotta see this.
Number four, Arcane, based on League of Legends. I've never played it. Never played this game.
I've played a disgusting amount of League of Legends.
I never have.
Yeah, I've probably played a couple thousand hours of the PC version, and for the mobile version, I've also played like a few hundred hours. Good game, I guess. Fantastic show. It's one of those type of like adaptations where you don't even need to know anything about the game or like the characters or anything like that, but obviously it does help. But yeah, it was a really really good show. Like my girlfriend knows nothing about League of Legends, for example, but we watched this together and it was something that we both like binged because it was really good.
Mm.
Damn, it's got a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Sounds like
dude.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
animation is like very unique. Like it's not normal, anime or whatever. Like it has, I don't know. It's like when you watch it in motion, it kind of feels a little bit like normal animation, but then CGI, but then like stop motion. And it's like it's like very very unique. And I heard it took like years to actually make the show just because of that, like because of how intricate the animation is. And I think since season 1 dropped, they've been working on season 2, but it's been that long that it's like that's how much time it takes to make this show, I guess. But yeah, really really good. If you like good characters and like like kind of like it's kind of hard to tell if it's like who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, and you can kind of sympathize with both and stuff like that. Like it's a very good show for that.
Okay. Sounds like it gets the jab stamp of approval.
Yeah.
Might have to check this one out.
Nice.
Number 3, The Last of Us.
I gotta write that down too. I gotta watch that.
I think this show is kind of goated. This is a really good show.
Yeah, it's very good.
Now, do you have to play the game to be able to watch the show?
No.
I'll let AB answer.
I don't think so, because they pretty much sum everything up in the in the TV show, and even some of the intro or like the way the show starts out, it starts out almost like scene for scene of the video game, so it gets you caught up pretty much at the exact same pace. And yeah, once you get introduced to the world itself is just crazy, and it's one of those post-apocalyptic Americas where you can't trust anybody. The few remaining humans are trying to survive, trying to make their way, but you can't trust other groups of humans. Plus, there's all these creatures that are out to kill everything, and it's done really well. Pedro Pascal, really good actor, and then the little girl that they got for Bella Ramsey, yeah, she's a really good actress too. Everyone in the show does a really good job, and it just has a very mature adult theme and like vibe, and I think it's a damn good show. I can't wait for season 2.
So it follows
Yeah.
the game pretty well as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like bar for bar the video
Yeah.
game. It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, like all the major parts of the game, it goes over in the show. And then there's some parts where they actually like expanded upon it a little bit. Like there's that whole episode where they focus on the character Bill. In the game, it's just like you don't get the same context they show in the show, because in the game you just kind of get like a quick sort of explanation of like who he is, why he is the way he is, whatever. And then you're in that area for a very short time, and then you move on in the game, but in the show they actually go a little bit deeper on his character and show a little bit more stuff. And so it's like little things like that where like you get a little bit of extra things. But yeah, it basically follows the main events of the game very very well. Yeah, and like AB said, the actors are really really good in it. The whole like you have to worry about the humans, like the enemies and stuff, but then also the infection and all that. Like it's really interesting. And yeah, I would still recommend playing the game though, because in my opinion it's like one of the best single player games that you can play, and it's really short. It's like 15 hours or less or something like that. But
okay.
yeah, but yeah, season 2 is gonna be heartbreaking for sure.
Oh, don't remind me. Don't remind me.
Dude, I never even
My heart can't take it.
I know what happens because I watched the playthrough, but I never finished the second game because of the events that happened in there. I was like, it's too much. And
Oh, really?
Same here.
Yeah.
I had a hard time just continuing. I'm like, damn, it's not the same.
yeah, it's one of those things, PG, where it's like you get attached to the characters, and then obviously things happen, and then you're kind of just like, damn, like where do I go from here? Like that, like I like this because of this or this person or whatever, and then to see some of the stuff that happens, it's kind of rough. But yeah, it's a very 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 good story, very good game, and the show does the game justice like really really well. So even if you didn't want to like buy the game or play through it, like you can watch the show and you would basically have all the info that the game people had.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually worked with the creator Neil Druckmann. He was he was like on set. He was like a creator, like director. I think actually was he? He might have even been one of the directors, if I'm not mistaken.
He was the director for the game, for both games, I believe. And and they brought him on to the show, I guess, like as like a, I don't know his exact title, but like I imagine it was something like really high up because yeah, you can clearly tell like he had a lot of influence on the world building and the story that they told and stuff like that. So
That's awesome. That's good.
yeah, they even got the voice actor and the voice actress for Joel and Ellie. They got the voice
that's
actress, yeah, and they brought them into the show. The voice actress for Ellie plays Ellie's mom in like a flashback, and then the voice actor for Joel plays like one of the, you know, like bad guys or whatever it is. So it was cool that they got them too to participate.
Yeah.
Damn good show. At number 2, we have the all new series Fallout.
What?
So good.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's been out
I've
for
never
Have you
like
played the
finished it,
game.
Peachy?
I've never played the game, but it's we just finished watching the whole thing.
dude, you have to play the games.
I got one more episode to go.
Have you played the games, AB?
Oh yeah.
Which
Nice.
one would you recommend?
I played I recommend Fallout 3.
Yeah,
I recommend Fallout 3. I've only played Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 and New Vegas.
yeah, I've played a little bit of Fallout 2. 3, 4, and New Vegas are the main ones I think everyone has played. I think you can jump into either of them, PG, like 3, New Vegas or 4, and you'll be fine. Like they all have pretty good stories. You know, the world and stuff like that is really, really cool. They all have their own unique sort of settings and stuff like that. And they're just like those type of games that you can easily jump into, play, and then not play for a while, come back to it, and like there's just so much to do, and there's like, you know, so many characters and like things like that. It's a really, really cool series. I'm surprised it's number 2 on here though. I feel like it's only been out for like a week or something.
Yeah. It's really good. We really enjoy it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
what they
have
did
to.
on Amazon too. What they did with this release is that you know, like on Netflix or like on or certain shows, they'll only do like one episode per week. So Fallout, they released all 8 episodes like in one drop, so you can basically like just binge watch it in like 9 hours, watch all of it.
Oh.
Yeah, and so there's no interruption. There's no like, oh man, I'm frustrated. I gotta wait a whole week to find out what happens next. Like you can just legit watch every episode back to back to back, and it just sucks you in, dude. And you're like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
this show is freaking crazy. The sets, the actors, the stuff that they've been able to pull off. Like they have like the actual power suits
Oh, hell yeah.
recreated in here, and they look so good. The ghouls, there's so many like scene stealers. Like you see something and you're like, oh my god, like that is sick. Like it's a damn good show. A damn good show.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to start it tonight because I've been wanting to watch it, but I didn't
start
know
it.
it was that good. Like
I
that's crazy.
recommend it. And this actress, she is so good, dude. She just, oh my god, bro, she's
is
so
good.
good, dude.
Everybody, Walton Goggins, he's really good.
Yeah, Walton, dude, they're all so good, man. Even this old lady right here,
Yeah.
they're all good.
Yeah, everybody's good.
It's on Prime, right? On Amazon?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I definitely have to play the game
Yes, I
after
recommend
watching that.
Yeah, dude, they're so fun, and they're those type of games that like it kind of changes based off like, you know, the stuff that you do or like the decisions that you make and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of that in there. It's really, really cool. I think now that I'm thinking about it, I think if you were to jump in as someone who's never played the game, I would probably recommend either New Vegas or 4. I think 4 is like more readily available, like it's on consoles and stuff like that.
Okay.
Whereas New Vegas, I think you'd only be able to get it on PC, unless you have like a PS3 lying around or something.
Right.
And yeah, 4 is still even holds up today, like the graphics and stuff like that. Whereas New Vegas is a little bit older, so you know it's not as impressive. But yeah,
Right.
either one you choose, dude, it's dope.
Oh man. Yeah, definitely.
All right.
What's
let's
number 1?
see. At number 1, what do you guys think is number 1?
Garbage. No. Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers, the
it's-
movie?
Yeah. The newer
It's
one.
it's obviously Doom with the Rock from the 90s.
Oh no.
Oh shit, it's Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Always gonna be like a-
Pokemon.
That makes a lot
Favorite.
of sense now that I think of it.
I
Pokemon.
mean, just talk about adaptation. I mean, yeah, for sure, right? It like follows everything in the games and has all the Pokemon, has the whole story, and it's been going on continuous. It's continued since 1997, so it's a very long running show.
Yeah.
Wait, so this is a newer show? Is this a movie?
I think they're just talking about the
So-
anime,
Oh.
in general, like the
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I've never watched any Pokemon before,
Yeah.
ever.
Just watch the first episode, PG. It'll make you cry.
Can you believe AB they've officially like sort of replaced Ash. Like he's not the main character anymore. They do it in a very, very good way though. I'm not gonna say just in case anyone's like catching up on the show or whatever, but yeah, he's not in the newest series that's based off of the newest games. He's not in it no more. He's been officially retired, I guess. After like
Yeah, I remember seeing like the final episodes or whatever of Ash. I haven't watched them because I feel bad just like watching one or two random episodes and not getting caught up. I don't know why I'm
Yeah.
like that, dude. Like I can't watch shows out of sequence. It bothers me.
yeah.
But yeah, I heard that they were gonna retire the Ash character and his journey is basically ended, I guess. And yeah, they're gonna start focusing on some other characters and some other storylines and stuff, which is good. I mean, the actress that does his voice can't do it forever, and they can't stay on the same thing forever. I mean, since '97. I
Yeah.
mean, Jesus, dude. But yeah, it's a good show.
When's the Power
My
Rule
fa-
show coming?
Say what?
When's the Power Rule show coming?
That's the real one right there. Just
That's gonna be
replace
adult themed.
Ash with Ace, and then replace Pikachu with Lavender.
100%.
Oh man.
Ace is one of our buddies that loves Pal World, so he would like that idea, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
But yeah, that's the list. That was the top ones. No
I think-
Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah,
Kinda
I was
surprised.
about to say that's super interesting because I thought that was a really good pick by PG because I know that the movie made like $1 billion+ or whatever, so I'm surprised it didn't even crack top 10.
And there's supposed to be a Zelda movie releasing in a couple years too.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently it's gonna be live action though. I don't know about that.
Yep. They're gonna hire some dude, put elf ears on him, give him earrings and an elf wig, and sounds hot.
I nominate a PG to play Link.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We-
You down,
we-
PG?
We've got enough like 12-year-old, blonde haired like Link adaptations. Like we need a 6 foot, 235-pound lean muscle.
And
You know what? You're right,
alternative
dude.
link, alternative universe, opposite.
Hell yeah. I'm down. I'll be there. I'll watch it in IMAX. I'll buy 3 tickets.
You know what else they're doing live action? Apparently, Naruto.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember me and you were talking about that on the. Were we talking about that on the last podcast? We might have talked about
I don't even remember. I think it might have been your live stream. I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, I think it was your.
talking about.
I think it was your live stream because I remember I was like, I'm gonna audition to play Naruto, and then Ace, being the little shithead that he is, was like, Nah, you don't fit the description or something like that. Crushing my dreams.
Damn. That sucks. Imagine it'd be your own. Be your biggest supporters. It'd be your biggest haters.
Bro.
Naruto.
But yeah, that's it for my list there, guys. That's it.
Yeah, you guys want to wrap it up? I know you guys got other stuff to do and places to be.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, dude. Next time once we get over that initial hump of doing face cam and all that, we gotta have you back on, PG, because for people who don't know, PG's built like Kratos from God of War. And yeah, AB was requesting that PG come in a tank top too for all of you guys, but I think last minute he realized that he wasn't going to be able to focus on the podcast if that was the case. So but
Next
no,
time. Next time.
anytime, guys.
Yeah,
For
dude.
sure.
But yeah, AB, you did the intro, so I'll go ahead and do the outro just to cut you some slack. But yeah,
Well, thank you, because my intro sucked.
No, dude, it was good. But yeah, guys, that's been the latest episode of the Beyond Mobile podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to check out our guest PickledGamer on YouTube. I'll leave it linked in the description, and I'm sure AB will too. And yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like on it. It really helps both me and AB out. And if you guys have any topics that you want us to cover in the future, make sure to comment those as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it from me. You guys want to say bye?
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, see you guys.
All right, guys. Peace.